Good afternoon. The committees on transportation and the Committee on Public Safety and Military Affairs is on its hearing agenda for today, March 12th, 2026 at 3 p.m. in room 229. Just some announcements. Just to ask that the testifiers, we ask that you stand on your written testimony or limit your testimony to 2 minutes. Decision making will follow after the hearing and time permitting, but I think we'll be able to do that today. Thank you, Committee on Public Safety, for being here as well. Let's proceed then with HB 1158, House Draft 1, and this is relating to firefighting at commercial harbors, and this limits civil liability of individuals who render firefighting services with a firefighting vessel at any of the state's commercial harbors or roadsteads, any commercial harbor or waterfront improvement belonging to or controlled by the state, or any vessel within a commercial harbor or roadstead, to only damages resulting from an individual's gross negligence or wanton acts or omissions. Okay, testifying today, representing the committee, the Department of Transportation. And thank you for being here in person today. And we shouldn't say weather permitting because it's already here.
Aloha, chairs, vice chairs, and members. Thank you so much for hearing this bill. This was included as part of our administrative package last session. And this bill originated from a discussion we had with Honolulu Fire Department following the Lahaina fires. We were just talking about all the assets we have available to fight fires and any barriers that we were seeing. And so in Honolulu Harbor, we used to have a fireboat. We no longer do. It just was not feasible the way the vessel had been designed and was used. So we did sell it, but what we did notice is in every single one of our ports statewide, excepting Kamalapo on Lanai, there is a vessel that is privately owned, that is home ported in these ports, that has firefighting equipment, whether it is a fire monitor or just fire, like a water cannon. And so this bill aims to reduce liability that may reduce their barriers to working with a firefighter to extinguish a fire at our ports. Available for questions.
Okay, and members, please, I'll allow any questions you may have on our even first-time testifiers. So thank you for being here, Dre. Understand it's just a difficult time today with the weather out there, but mahalo. Okay.
Thank you.
The Hugs Group, Melissa Pevlicek, sends communication in support, as well as an individual who's AR in support as well. Is there anyone else wishing to speak on HB 1158? Okay, hearing none, then let's, members of the PSM committee, any questions? Okay, can we proceed then? Sure. Okay. You know what though, because this is just a only joint. And we only have one more bill with just the transportation. Let's go into decision making, okay? And you're ready? You got quorum? You? Oh, that's right. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. And then you okay with the? Okay. We'll go into decision making on HB 1158, and this is relating to the firefighting at commercial harbors. Chair's recommendation is to pass this measure as is. Any discussion? Committee on Water and Land, Vice Chair for the vote. I'm sorry. Take it back. This is the Committee on Transportation. Chair, Vice Chair for the vote. Chair goes aye on HB 1158.
Okay, Chair's recommendation is to pass unamended HB 1158. Chair Inouye.
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Kanuha is excused. Senator Lee is excused. Senator DeCourt.
Aye.
Madam Chair, recommendation is adopted.
Okay, for PSM committee, same recommendation to pass unamended. Chair votes aye. Vice Chair Lee is excused. Senator Hashimoto. Aye. Senator Inouye.
Aye.
Senator DeCourt.
Aye.
Your recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you. This concludes then the joint hearing of the Committee on Transportation and the Public Safety and Military Affairs. Aloha and good afternoon. This is the Committee on Transportation for its hearing on March 12th in room 229 on the 301 agenda. And testifiers, we ask that you stand on your written testimony or limit your oral testimony to 2 minutes. Decision-making will follow this hearing. Thank you, members. We'll proceed with HB 389, and this is relating to uncrewed aircraft offenses, and this clarifies the applicable felony offenses for using an uncrewed aircraft in the furtherance of the commission of a felony. And we have City and County of Honolulu.
Good afternoon, Chair Inouye, Vice Chair
afternoon.
Elefante, and Senator DeCourt. Daniel Hugo for the Honolulu Prosecutor's Office, and we're in support of this bill. We just have one recommended amendment. So the original purpose of this bill had been to close the one Modica loophole in the use of a drone in the commission of a felony. So there are some offenses that are already felonies and that actually provide for a higher penalty, a Class B offense, for example. But because of the Modica rule, if under the current statute, they would all have to be graded at Class C. So our original proposal had been to grade all use of a felony or use of a drone in the commission of a felony to a Class A. The House Judiciary Committee took a different tack, which was to make specific exemptions for those aggravated offenses. And we're okay with that. The one thing that we would ask is for an anti-merger clause to be in, and that's similar to what happens with use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, so that those are two separate offenses and they don't end up merging with each other. But other than that, we are in support of this bill, and we appreciate the committee for taking the time to hear on it. The cases that we're more likely to see here in Hawaii right now are prison contraband cases where people are trying to smuggle things in using drones. But of course, we would want an effective bill just in case people are using it in the commission of more serious or dangerous felonies. I'm available for questions. Thank you.
You know, that's interesting. Is that happening right now in our state and our prisons with what you just said, that drones are being used to pretty much bring in
Yeah, so
contraband to the prison?
I won't comment on any pending cases.
Oh, yes,
But what I
I
can say is
understand.
that there definitely have been advisories about the use of drones to smuggle in prison contraband.
Yeah, but drones are flying, right?
Yes.
Yes. So as an example, if it's a prison, are they getting over and into the prison itself or dropping it somewhere?
Well, from my understanding, a lot of what is being seen across the country are cases where, for example, they'll fly it over a very small section of the prison yard, drop it there, and then inmates will go and retrieve it.
So the inmates already had kind of predetermined and the arrangements were already made and they know where it's going.
Right, and
Oh,
there are
interesting.
not all drones are flying, so they can also have some drones that move on the ground.
But they fly in first and then they can go on the ground.
So depending on the type of drone, there are some that fly, and then there are also some that are more like basically like a race car, a small little race car.
But they have, is that instant happening in Hawaii though, the ones just on the ground?
Not that I know
Not
of,
that,
yeah.
not that you know of. Recently, or a week ago, there were complaints that I seen on Hawaii News Now with regards to happening in one of our communities on this island about the apartment building or condominium, and the residents were all complaining about it. Did you know about that issue? And that there was a complaint, and my understanding from what I saw on television was that the drone was actually happening throughout all the floors, and and the complaints were made.
Yeah, so I didn't see that specific news story. I do know that there have been complaints sometimes about drones being used in violation of privacy offenses.
Well, this is the case, the privacy issue, and I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but I'm trying to think what community it was, because they actually had a picture and they had residents speaking on it as well in their objections.
Yeah, and that would
So
be
what would then be, instead of the drugs portion of the charges, if it's the drones and with the privacy thing, what would then be the penalty?
Well, so that's why it's important to have a general use of drones in the commission of a felony. Because, for example,
Oh, okay.
violation of privacy in the first degree is a felony. And that would allow us to charge the two together. So
Oh, okay.
rather than us having to think up every single criminal use of a drone, having this general language and then allowing us to prosecute that would be helpful.
Okay, so this actually is going to help you folks as well. Okay, thank you so much. Any questions? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. We learn a lot every day. And is there anyone else wishes to speak on HB 389? Okay, hearing none, then we'll proceed with HB 1166 relating to Automated Speed Enforcement Systems Program. And this appropriates funds out of the State Highway Fund for deposit into the Automated Speed Enforcement Systems Program Special Fund and appropriates funds out of the Automated Speed Enforcement Systems Program Special Fund for the fiscal year 2025-26. DOT, okay, I see on Zoom. Aloha.
Hi, good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, and Senator DeCourt. HDOT, or Robin with HDOT, and we stand by our submitted testimony and strong support. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Members, any questions of DOT?
Yes.
Okay, Robin, Senator Elafante.
Hi, Deputy Director Shishido. With this measure, is DOT looking at expanding the enforcement or actually having more speed cameras out throughout the state?
Yes, so as you know, right now, we have 10 locations. We execute our contract that, will allow up to another 10 locations every year for the next 10 years. So with this appropriation, it allows for that next set of 10 location intersections along with the red light running program as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Yes, Senator DeCourt.
Thank you, Deputy Director. I believe that you folks have your pilot project out in the Kalihi area, and if I recall, I apologize, I can't remember the number now. It did help to reduce speed in that area. Do you have any data or any numbers on that right now?
So with the red light running, we've seen major crashes decrease by like 64% in all the areas. With the automated speed part, we started warnings up in March of last year. Citations were just issued starting about mid-November. So it's only been about almost 3 months with the automated speed. And we haven't looked at these locations yet, as far as like we have our Google data safety platform, but we can start taking a look and see how it's impacted. But definitely, with the red light running, we've seen major reductions in crashes. So we anticipate the same with the automated speed.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Chair. Thank
any
you.
further questions? We do have an opposition from Tamara McKay, an individual on HB 1166, sends communication in opposition. Anyone else wishes to speak to HB 1166? Please come forward. Aloha and state your name for the record.
Aloha, Senator. My name's Pierre Legault. In response to that, I've seen Ottawa was a city in Canada where I was born and raised, or not born, but spent some time. We were one of the first early adopters to that program. And what happened is it had a short-term benefit of reducing speed and crashes, But eventually, everybody learned where those cameras were and where those speed cameras were. So it increased the accidents in other areas. And a lot of these contracts require payments to the company that's supporting it. And originally, the plan was sold as the income coming in would cover the cost of the program. But then later, once everybody learned and their behavior was modified, it ended up costing the city more money. And this is coming from the Premier's office of Ontario, that it ended up costing the city more money in the long run, now that those cameras have been there for over a decade. Because the income wasn't coming in to offset the maintenance fees. So that's something I think should be considered before allocating more money. Yeah. More monitoring. I would recommend more monitoring of the other major intersections where accidents are happening. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Interesting. Any questions of the testifier? Okay, we'll go into decision-making on HB 1166. I can't find my recommendation now. I thought I saw. Well, the recommendation would be to, for an amendment, and I believe it had to do with the amendment regarding, no. Okay. Okay, we're going to decision-making on the Transportation Committee hearing notice of March 12 on HB 389 relating to the uncrewed aircraft offenses. And Chair's recommendation is to pass this measure with amendments from the City and County of Honolulu Prosecuting Attorney's Office, and we're to add one more sentence to subsection G, beginning on page 3, line 2. I believe that's correct, Jeff. And quote, a conviction and sentence under this subsection shall be in addition to and not in lieu of any conviction and sentence for the separate felony, provided that the sentence imposed under this section may run concurrently or consecutively with the sentence for the separate felony. Okay, and let's see. I think that's it for this bill on HB 389. Any discussions? Hearing none. Vice Chair, for the vote, Chair goes aye.
Chair's recommendations to pass HB 389 with amendments. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye. Senator Kanuha is excused. Senator Lee is excused. Senator DeCourt.
Aye.
Madam Chair, recommendations adopted.
Thank you. On HB 1166, House Draft 1 relating to Automated Speed Enforcement Systems Program, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments, with technical, non-substantive amendments, and the appropriations section should be amended to fiscal year 2026 to 2027. Any discussions? Hearing none, Vice Chair, for the vote, Chair goes aye.
Chair's recommendations to pass HB 1166 with amendments of the 3 members present. Any no votes or votes with reservations? Hearing none, Madam Chair, your recommendations adopted.
Okay, thank you so much, and this concludes the Committee on Transportation hearing notice of March 12th. Aloha.